Hello, Midnight Coders. Oh, I just need to stretch. Good morning. Oh my God. Welcome to the world. Thank you for logging in today. Join me as we wake up with coffee and code. Um, so this is a continuation. There's a total cat. This is a continuation of yesterday's stream where we were building this fake social network thing um, based off the JSON placeholder that we're using as our uh, information or place of fake data. We're using HTMX as opposed to JavaScript. Um, that is a hot cup of coffee. Well, just going to kind of give this a couple minutes here and I guess yap about the project while I just give it a minute to see who else joins us and if anybody at all joins us. So uh, I was building another project originally, and it was just an HTMX demo, and I figured I'd like to toy a little bit more with HTMX because I don't know, I'm new to it, I'm learning it, I'm exploring it. There's most likely some better ways to do things than what I'm doing, but this is a learning experience. The whole purpose of this is to explore, learn, fuck around, and find out, see what happens. Um, so today we're just going to continue to toy around with this idea of a fictitious social media, if you will, where there is an idea of a Twitter-based thing with just a long ass stream of posts from everybody and anybody that just fills the screen, and you can essentially infinite scroll these um, all of these all of these posts. And so today we're going to make it so that we're going to turn the username in the corner in the top left or top right, sorry. We're going to turn that into a quick instead of an anchor link, as opposed to a span that it is now, so that we can make it a hyperlink, clickable, and go off to that person's profile. The idea is that that profile is going to be inspired by current social medias, and there's going to be a left-hand panel that's going to have like username information, like their contact, email, yada yada. On the left-hand side, maybe we'll stick a profile photo up there later. I don't know if there is one. I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out as we go. On the center sort of column will be all of this user's posts, um, and all of their um, yeah, their posts and comments on their posts. And we're also going to upgrade it so that um, we get the first three, because each post is going to have comments. And so I want to make it so that each of those comments, we're going to have just three comments, and then we're going to tag a little load more button on the bottom where you can click it and have it progressively load more and more comments to that specific um, part. Now, this may involve me flip-flopping between projects. You may see me jump from this project to another project where I did an implementation and come back because I don't have this memorized. I don't know it as well as I know, say, Java, for example. So there may be some flip-flops between uh, between projects. However, for now, let me minimize myself and bring up the little me. Yay, little me. All right, so um, as you'll see here on the left-hand side, that is the site that we left off with. Um, that is where we left it yesterday. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Actually, I guess I don't need to make it that bigger. I just need to be able to go into a file and make it bigger. There we go. So this HTMX min, what I did here was I just simply uh, decided to not use the um, CDN in all of the HTML files. So instead, I just decided, because it's better for production, to not rely on CDNs, because that is where you can get yourself into some trouble, um, such as pulling in files that are updated remotely that you may not want. So personal preference, I personally prefer to have a local sort of distributed copy of that, so that I know it's not going to change. So anyway, that's all I did here, was I just sort of stuck that HTMX min uh, into our project file, so that we have a minimalistic way of uh, doing this. And then we still have our same header, sorry, post header, where we fill out the author's name, and this is here where we're getting the author name, and we're swapping it out for this span, which we're going to be changing to an A, as this is going to become an anchor. Um, and the next thing on that is into the user controller. So if we come up here, pop into user, go into controller, open up this bad boy, this needs to get changed, because now this is going to be an A. Um, and we're going to be adding in that. So we're going to change this into an href, and we're going to have to use this escape. You know what? I'm just going to copy this. No, I guess I'll leave it. So here we're making it so that we're going to go back. We're going to go to the URL users, and then we're going to take in the user ID, and that's going to more or less make this into a hyperlink. So if we just start the program and run it, I'm going to minimize that because I don't like the console noise. This, once it's loaded, if we come over to here and refresh our page, all of these now are hyperlinks. You can see that in the bottom left. It tells you that's going to localhost/user/1. So if I was to click on that, there's no page. So we need to create that user page. For the sake of brightness, I'm going to minimize that back to here. But now we're going to go and um, create a way to make a user page. So first off, we need a couple of things. So we need a way to get a user. So we're going to pop into the user service. I'm going to minimize that noise. So down here, we're going to need to create a way to get a user. So public user, get user by ID. That looks about right. Fine. Okay, yeah, import user. There. Okay, so get user by ID is going to go into the repository, find the user by ID, find it by ID, and then we're going to do this. So now I'm going to actually come up here and just say get user by ID, so that we're not, so yeah, so we're only, okay. So next we need, I suppose we need a way to get all of the posts for a specific user now. So next we need to go into post service. Yes, post service. And here we're going to create a public list of posts, get post by user, find all by user, which doesn't exist. So let's pop into here, because I'm lazy. User ID, we want to find all based on, what are we finding it by? By user ID. Okay. So we want to go in here, and this is one of the great things about IntelliJ. I can come into here, and there's this little gutter icon. Really, not everything went, only the one file? Okay, so I'm just gonna make this a bit bigger. Make that a bit bigger. We're gonna minimize this so that we're out of there. So now we're gonna come back into here. Sorry, I apologize for anybody that's watching about the size of the font. Now it's a bit bigger. Um, so in here we need to find by user ID. So we're gonna come in here, and there's these little gutter icons. So I can come next to the user, click on the gutter icon, and I can create a Spring Boot repository method to find an instance. No, I don't want to find an instance. I want to find a collection. My mistake. So we're going to find a collection. We want this to be a list. We can make it whatever we want. I'm just going to make it a list for now by user ID. So now we have this find by user. So now if we come back in here, this is happy. So next we need to dip into our user. We did the user controller, the user service, sitemap, I suppose. Let's pop into the sitemap, and then we're going to build out the index.html or the user view. I guess I'm going to call it user view. So at get get mapping, not that. This is user slash, I believe I said ID, or was it user ID? I guess it doesn't matter. This is just from my side. Okay, so this is going to be that. And this is going to sort of kinda, we'll do that for now. And this is going to be user view, which doesn't exist yet. We're going to have the, I don't like how they do this. Can I flip that? There we go. All right, so this is going to be a path variable, and then we're going to have the model. And scratch my nose. All right, so now we're going to come down here, and we're going to get a what are we getting? We're getting a cached user, so I need the user service in here. Private final user service, So we're gonna say var cached user is this. Next, I want a var. I want to be able to get all of their posts. So user posts is get all of the posts for a specific user. And now I am adding the user, and I'm adding the posts. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. All right, so now we'll clean up our imports, and we need to create an HTML file. So we're going to come into here. This is going to be in our regular templates. What on earth did I do there? New HTML file. What am I doing here? Let's just copy this bad boy. Let's copy this bad boy. We'll call this user view. If you're wondering why I'm copy and pasting this versus just creating a new one, it's just because of the fact that this has a lot of my stuff at the top that I need. This we can probably change to midnight shift user profile, I suppose. This is not, or this is going to have the header. Now I did pre-do a CSS file, just because I didn't want to do that all here on this, because that's just kind of crazy. So this is going to have a main section of profile, what do I call it? Profile layout. Now in here, I'm actually going to have a, what is it, A side? A side, profile, A side, yes. Then I'm going to come inside of here, have a profile card. Yeah, that sort of kind of looks about right. Profile this, profile name. The paragraph, you need a class. What was it? Profile name. This is supposed to be the username, and this is get name. There we go. And that is name. Okay, next beneath this, no, still inside of that. Profile, yeah, profile. I still want to be inside the profile card. Okay, so this is going to have another div inside here. This is going to be of class profile section. Profile section. This, then we're gonna have an H3, I suppose. This is gonna be for contact information. Yeah, contact information. Look at that, it heard me. So this is gonna have a P. Yes and no. So this is gonna have a P of email. Yeah. I'm gonna throw another span for the, yeah, throw a little phone number in there. Why not? Can I make these strong? Like bold? That's just strong, right? I think that's how I do that. Because I want this to be bolded, and I'm very rusty with HTML. Is that, I think that's a strong. Um, there we go, okay. So that's the phone. Next one I suppose would be website. No, 'cause I don't want location in this. This is just contact, go away. Let's get rid of that. So we'll throw another div. I always get confused in the order the divs go. Something like that. This is going to be address, I suppose, or maybe location. See if this will pick up the same pattern. Did that pick up? That did pick up the same pattern. Look at that. All right. So we've got street, suite, city. Do I really need the zip code? Do I really need the zip code? I don't think I need to get that personal. I don't think I need to be that personal. We'll just go with that. All right. What else needs to be on the left-hand side? I need a profile picture, I suppose, at the like up username, full name. Um, don't actually have. Okay, so we're gonna throw a to-do, add profile picture. There we go. So we'll do that later. So that was the side. That's gonna be the left-hand side. Um, so next I'm gonna throw in a section, and this section is gonna be the profile posts. And from in here, we're gonna say, probably could have copied this from index. I should have copied this from index. We want to say that there is going to be a headline, I think it is, or header. So div heading. Okay, that's what I called it. And this is going to be an H2. Yes. Oop, an H2. So now I need this to also take in Thymeleaf text of username. Da 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 da. There we go. Users posts. Okay, what else do I need here? So I need to do a check to see if, okay, so this is going to be a div, th if, because I want to do a double check here. So what I'm doing here is if the posts happen to be empty, and now this is not the ideal way to check. I mean, in Java we can do that, but in HTML we can't, or in Thymeleaf we can't. We have to use this lists dot is empty, and then from here we pass in the list of posts, and we double check to see if that is empty. And of course, if it is, then we want to do something, which is just simply state that the user has no posts. And now from there, we're going to make a, and I really should externalize this so I can just use it as a fragment. But here we're going to be building out an article. I believe it, yeah, article. And this is going to, what this is going to be is a postcard for, yeah, that. And then we're going to simply say down here, yeah, post header, title. Yeah. Then we're going to create one for the, yeah, pretty much for the body. Yeah, and that's going to be post.get body content. Yeah, that's about right. I love auto. I love IntelliSense. I love this autocomplete shit. It knows what I want. I might have to read it from time to time to confirm it, but it knows what I want for the most part. It's beautiful. I love IntelliJ. I'm so in bed with them. All right. Content. Next, we need a list of comments. So next down here is going to be a div of comments. Div. This is going to be comment section, and we're going to make a header of comments. Yeah, I think that's just about what we're looking to do. So we're looking to make a header of comments section, make a big bold header of comments, followed by, we're going to take in a div here, which is going to use a Thymeleaf attribute that is going to use the hx get, and it's going to go to API version 1 comments posts ID, and then we're going to pass in and tell it what that ID is. So with Thymeleaf here and the way this works, when you put in a post and then you put the curly braces and a parameter that you want, once you're finished with that URL, you then put a regular just braces, uh, and you specify what that ID is. So in our case, ID is then equal to the Thymeleaf. We're going to use Thymeleaf formatting to say post.getID, and that's going to be our endpoint. So that's going to go off to our comment controller. Did we do the comment controller? I don't think we did. Or did we? No, we did that in the previous time. So that's going to reach out to our comment controller here, and it's going to say, okay, you're looking for posts with the post ID. It's going to say, all right, I'm going to add all of these comments into the model, and then we're going to go into the fragments, and we're going to grab the comments.html, and we're going to look for the comment fragment and go from there. So that should load this up. And if all works well, if we reload this, cross our fingers and toes that nothing goes wrong. Okay, okay. If I refresh this page, still nothing went wrong. Now if I click on our link, last time we got a 404. This time we get an error, 404. Why is it a 404? Users 1. What? What did I forget? What did I forget? User, and I'm going to users. Oh goodness. Okay, so back into our index. Was it our index? No, it wasn't our index. It was our controller. Users, this needs to be user, dir. And we'll go back. We'll refresh the page. Now it still says user. We'll refresh it again. There we go, user. So now we get a 500 error. Okay, so something went sideways. What broke? What broke? What broke? Could not parse the expression user users post in here. Why can't you parse that? Users post. Oh, did I do that wrong? I think I did. Okay, so let's get rid of this. TH text is this. Plus. Oh no, it wouldn't be there. It would be in here. It would be plus this. Is it because I didn't have the plus? What do you not like? I'm just curious towards what it doesn't like now. Okay. And I goofed something up. Um, because this is not supposed to look like that, unless it's just the fact that. No, that's not supposed to look like that. Okay. So what did we goof? If I close that out and refresh this. Whatever. Is there an error printing that I'm not seeing, or? Okay, so what in the hell am I doing wrong? Oh, that's what I did wrong. This plus this. Okay. But now, where did I? I goofed something up because this has the whole yada yada's posts, but this stuff is supposed to be on the side. So I goofed something up. I just don't know what. Profile layout, profile sidebar, aside. Um, hmm. Profile card. Yeah, okay. Like, why? Why are you the way you are and not the way I expected? Fuck. Oh, did some of my IntelliSense autocomplete maybe not work the way I expected? Mm. Nope, that's my problem. Fuck's sakes. So I want to take in the user view. We'll refresh this. Make sure if you have a CSS file, you actually load it. There we go. That's what I expected. That's much better. There. So there. Now we have this, so we can go to any of the users that are in our mock database from placeholder, and we can see their contact information over here. Obviously, that is broken. Email and phone and website should be separated, not all on the same damn thing. Did I do wrong? Oh, because I got them all in the same freaking paragraph. Durr. Okay, that was my own stupidity there. Okay, so we'll grab that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, get rid of you, minimize you, get rid of you, minimize you, minimize you. Sorry, guys. delete, 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 delete. And then we'll do this, do this, do this, come over here, reload this, and there. Now the left side's better. If you do it right, it actually works. If you do it like I did it and just YOLO, you get some funny shit. All right, so this I like. It's good. Maybe we can stick a profile picture up here, like beside the name or whatever. Um, and then yeah, we can maybe leave. Maybe we'll make a way to make messaging and inboxing, and we'll throw like a little inbox thing over here on the side. I like that when you scroll, it stays sticky. Um, So I don't like that it loads all of the comments and all of the posts. So let's close out of everything here for now and think about this for a second. So when I'm loading comments, and when I am loading posts, here we go. I'm grabbing everything. I'm just grabbing everything. I'm not providing any, like if I come in here, I'm not providing any form of pagination. I'm not doing any sort of funky magic like that. Um, so what we're going to be doing, um, okay. So I did get rid. So yeah, okay. So we got to introduce some pagination in here. I'm trying to remember how I did it. I did this in my other project. I'm working on another spot here where I'm doing it in my other project. I'm sticking in a pageable amount as well. Uh, so this is what I meant by you might see me flip-flop between a project or two. Um, I'm just trying to remember how exactly I did it. And you'll notice in software that a lot of the things are not exactly memorized. You've done it somewhere, you know where to get the answer, you know where you did it. So in my case, I'm coming in here, grabbing comments by grabbing all the comments here, and I am passing in a pageable amount to my content directory here. So by the looks of it, I need to come into where I'm grabbing the user's posts in here, and I need to add paging in here, which means I need to come into this repository, and we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to add in pageable. I think it's pageable. Was it pageable? Yeah, pageable. Okay. Import that bad boy. Come on. You know what you're doing. All right. So now if we come in here, we can create a pageable amount. But this is coming from here. So ultimately, this needs a pageable amount. And so we're going to have to set up some defaults and some variables here. So we're going to come down here and we're going to add in a request param required false, which is going to actually be a long, we're going to say, and it's going to be the page ID. We're we want to no, for now we're just doing it as a hard amount. So I'm going to come down here and create. Oop, and we're gonna do a check to make sure that paging does not equal null. And because I can't technically set a default, Oh, I can set a default value. Okay, so we're going to set the default value to 0. So we're going to do this, and this page ID is going to have a default value of 0, so we don't need to do that null check anymore. Although I do need to build a page. So this is where we come in here and we build a pageable size of this with page number, whatever. So if I come in here, in our case, slap this in, that is our pageable amount. So if I say here and pageable, that's going to be our page. And this with page is going to be the page ID. Or sorry, yeah, page number, page ID. And you need to be an integer, not a long. So if we say integer, that'll be happy. Default size that we're setting is 3. Realistically, we could duplicate this, do this, integer of size. We'll stick size in here, and we'll set size as a default of 3, just so everything is happy. So now when we come down here to get our users, we can then come in and we can just add in the pageable. Oh, there we go. So now in here, we can then take in or I suppose we could have done the integer and done it all here in the service versus doing it in the controller. So yeah, let me just steal that from here, and we'll say that, and we'll say page ID, and size. Get rid of this for now, and we'll come in here, and we have an integer of page ID, integer of size. We have a page in here, so that now we can come in here and say pageable, and that'll return our page. So now if we, in the user view, this should only be grabbing 3 comments. Or, no, we did this for posts. Lovely, okay, so it's gonna do 3 posts. So if we refresh this page, you'll see that they only got the 3 posts. So maybe for posts, we'll limit this to 25. Or 20, we'll say. No, we'll do 16. Fuck it, I don't care. 16. And that's for now we don't have an infinite amount of pages. So if oh, there we go. If we refresh this, now you'll see that there's 15, and then we'll add a load more at the bottom, or 16, and then we'll add a load more. All right, so next is the comments, and doing basically the same thing for the comments. So comment controller, we're going to come in here, and I am going to go there. We're going to be doing the same thing, and so I'm going to steal this, copy that, come in here. I'm going to throw this in here so we've got the default values as well. And then the comment service, we're also in here, we're also going to throw in page ID and size, come into here, and we'll take in the integer of page ID and size, whoops, and we'll slap in our pageable, and then we'll add in pageable here. So now we'll pop into here, and you guessed it, we're going to add in more pageable. So we'll duplicate this, and then we'll add in pageable. Done. Done and done, except we're going to set the comments to a default of 3. So now if I'm just going to rerun it. I didn't need to rerun it, but we're going to. Up, 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 up. And if we refresh this, you'll see now we have 3. Done. That's simple. All right. Next. Next. Where am I at? Where am I at? We need more buttons. We need buttons. We need to push some buttons. Who likes pushing buttons? I like pushing buttons. Don't hit the red button. All right. So now, once the comments are effectively done, we need to come in beneath that and throw in a load more button. So I'm going to come in here and I'm basically going to steal this because this is a button that I've already done. So I'm going to copy this, jump out of here. We're going to throw this in here, but we're also going to notice that there's going to throw a conniption fit about this post comment count. I'm actually, this probably should have not be done here, but probably should be done somewhere else. Here we're going to take in, so where's my view user? Okay. Okay, I need to create a way to count. I need to count. So I'm gonna make a public make this a long get post count. I'm gonna take in a user ID. Get post ID, post count for user. Okay, now in here we're gonna do something funky. Okay, so post repository. I wish I could just do count, but we're gonna have to create something. So we're gonna create by this, and we're gonna create count posts by user ID. There we go. There. Just like that. So this here just comes in and does a create. It returns a long. I'm going to make that a long as an object. This is going to come in and it's going to search and count. Don't have to worry about it. JPA is going to handle or Spring is going to handle the implementation. Just know that that's going to count for the user. So now if I come back into the sitemap, I can simply come down here and I can say var post count is this, and we're going to add post count into the view so that now I can come down here and I can simply say if post count is greater than 3, then we're going to come through here and we're going to load more. So this is where I'm going to then come in and we're basically going to swap this with that. Swap this with that, posts, and then it's going to add page ID. So this right here, for those of you wondering, page, Val's page is going to add at the end of this question mark page, and it's by default going to set it to 1. It's going to use this page data down here, data hyphen page. It's going to use this as the indicator for default, so that once we have clicked on the button, we're going to run a little thing here which is going to create a page ID where it's going to parse the integer for the dataset.page, data.page. Then it's going to say, okay, this attribute of values is going to be equal to whatever this page number, this page is. So that's where it's resetting this to the next. So default is page 1, then it's going to get parsed, taken in, this sets it, and then down here it increments it. So this number gets incremented each time we click on the button. If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments and I can break that down a little further in a different video. But for now, just know that this is going to load more comments by um, calling out a get request to our comments, and it's going to pass in um, the page. So that way, when we click it, it's going to take that click, grab the integer, set the attribute for values, and then it's going to increment it. I hope that makes sense. So let's rerun this. Hopefully nothing broke. And I will refresh this page. Boom. 1, 2, 3, and then this crappy load more button. If we click the load more button, absolutely nothing happens. Okay, so let's inspect this and find out why. Okay, so I'll just bring this over here. I suppose we'll throw this up. So we refresh the page, we see this here, click on this, and we get an HTMX target error. I wonder if that's because I'm using the min rather than the fully blown version. Okay, so all right, give me a second to. Okay, I don't want that. I want. Yeah. Where the hell is the? There it is. Copy, paste. And we'll copy that bad boy. And we're going to copy paste this bad boy, but get rid of the min. Sure. And we're going to control alt delete this here and put in this file. We'll say that that's good, and we'll come into here, sitemap, and scroll to the top, and we'll take in the bigger one and rebuild this. And now if I redo this, cool. Target error, still getting a target error. What is my target error? That doesn't help me. That really does not help me. Although it is when I click on the comment button. So let's, where did I have that? Where did I have that button? Okay. Ah, cool. So I do want to take the steal this load more. Steal this load more. Because I didn't. So I'm going to steal that and we're going to go up here and so I'm just going to throw it in style. I don't like that the button goes white, so I might need to change that. But this is better to be styled in the center and load more. But now I need to figure out why the target is load more. Oh, target is comment section. Okay, let's try this again. Oh yeah, right, you're gonna still throw the same thing. Refresh. Load more. Still throwing issues. What? Target issue? Why are you struggling with target? Hmm. Hmm. Can I do this? Or is this gonna not do what I want? Is this gonna throw the two buttons in here when I click on this now? Let's find out! Oh, well, it literally made this button into it. Okay, so doesn't like it. Um, why are you not liking this? Because I first thought I would stick it outside of the comment section and figured that would be fine. That's what I thought, which and load more, but so if I refresh this, and click load more, the target has an issue. What is... What is wrong with this? Oh, Jesus. Okay. I never gave it an ID. Durr. See, I told you my HTML is rusty as hell. Alright. Load more. There's the rest of them. Look at that. We're going to continue to load more, though. Why are we still loading more and more and more and more and more? The page should be incremented, and if the page... Oh, because I don't have that. No. I got another issue. So refresh this. Okay. So, and then if we go load more, we get the next two, which I think is only supposed to have four, but then we get the first one again. And if I loop over, then we get the first, second, third one. Yeah, okay, there's something funky going on with this. Okay. So if I come back to where are we making that request to? Comments, posts, in here, post service. Okay. Stick a breakpoint here because I'm curious. And actually I want this to print. Don't suspend. Ah, shit, I didn't mean to stop it. I meant to clear the console. Okay, so refresh this guy. How's that not hitting that breakpoint? Is it not calling user's ID? No, it's not, Mike. Oh, we're in the post service, I think. Where are we at? API, comments, post. Ah, that's my mistake. Okay, so I was passing in the wrong thing. So we were expecting page, not page ID as a request param. So by default, I was always having the page as 0. Yeah, there we go. So now if I refresh this, it loads up those 3, and if I click the button, it's no longer loading. Oh, because I paused. Alright, so now if I, well, I suppose there is no more to load. That's all it is. Okay, so there's that. Oh shit. Fuck! Shit! Okay, that's a bug. That's a fun bug. Okay. Um fuck. Fuck. Ah. Okay. Coffee break. That coffee's cold. That is disgusting. Walk away for a second while I top this up. Um So we have an issue that the guinea pigs are squeaking away at me. All right, so we have a little issue that um, no matter what, shit. Okay, so oh, I need to think on this one. So the issue at hand at the moment is that when you click on the button, it does reset that comment section, but it sets it for the wrong spot. Um, when it refreshes the page, fuck, or when it refreshes and loads the element, it's refreshing the wrong element. Um, and I think this might be due to the fact that okay. Can I do fancy shit in HTML by any chance? Like, can I add something to this? Like, make this string longer? Like, add an ID number to it? That's not a thing, is it? No, shit. And I can't make that an attribute, I don't think. Can I? Will that work? th attribute ID equals this. Um, ooh, okay. Um, okay. Will this work or will this just blow up? That is the question. Okay, okay. Oh, I can't have two attributes? Can I separate these and add an extra? Like, is that doable? Is that doable? Is that valid? Please tell me that's valid. Is that valid? Oh, we're gonna find out if that's valid or if this is just gonna crash. Oh shit! It reloaded. It reloaded. It reloaded. Ooh, and that loaded for that one. That one loaded for that one. Oh, it's valid. That's fucking exciting. I didn't know that was valid. Oh yeah, that excites me and opens my mind to a whole new world. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Baby. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so I didn't know that I could separate these attributes like that. That makes my life amazing. Okay. Oh, that just opened up a door. Oh my god. The possibilities. Holy shit. Okay. Um, wow. Okay. The possibilities. Overload. Oh my god, brain overload. That is so mind-blowingly open my mind to so many more possibilities. Holy crap. Damn. Okay, so that's this for now. So now we've got our fictitious social media page where um, we can just go to straight up home and see everybody's um, literally in our case every post, which we now that we have pagination added, we can clean this up. But you'll see that we have everybody's posts, and we can click on these people, go to their profile, see who they are, see their specific posts. This is coming along great. We are cooking, loading things. All right, so next is to clean up this home page. So now we got to clean up the home page. Because we've got some pagination here that we're going to have to add to here. Um, all right, so we're going to copy this. This is going to go up here. You can go there. All of this bad boy stuff can get put over here. Really? Yeah, why did the other one not do that? Whatever. Whatever. Anyway, so no, we're not doing that here. Um, Posts are going to equal post service dot get all posts. I'm going to call this, I guess, something different. We're going to say get home page posts, and we'll state the size. And then we'll create this method in here, which is going to return a list of posts. Okay, and we're going to where'd that pagination go? Where did that pageable? So now we got pageable. So this is how many pages we go. Okay, so now we got to go back to the home controller. That's set up as default of 16 again. Okay. Maybe because this is a little bigger, we'll say 25 because it's the home page. And then here we're just going to add posts. So this is going to now grab us the home page posts, which we're going to say pageable this. And we're going to, oh, it took me directly into there. I don't know if we have this thing in here, but we're going to try this. Post repository dot find all pageable. It is in there. Okay, perfect. So that's what we're going to return. What? Okay, so that just returns a page. So var paged results equal this. And then we do that. So there. That'll get us a list of the home page. So now if we refresh this, cross our fingers and reload the page. There we go. Now it's a lot smaller. Now it's just got the 25. So now we can work on adding our comment buttons and work on adding our load more comment buttons, and then we got to work on our load more posts. But we're getting there. We're getting there. It's coming along. We started out with pretty basic, and now we're getting there. Yeah. The next thing that we're going to be doing after we get the page, the load more buttons going here is beneath. I want to do this beneath the name section. I'm going to add a spot in here for albums, so that way we can have a link to their, like a small little spot that's going to link off to this user's albums, which will be a page of just the individual albums they have, which opens up to basically while looking at images. The idea is just because placeholder has albums and photos. Oh. We're going to put those in there as well, and then we're going to also include the users' to-do tasks because everybody has their own to-dos, and we'll eventually sort of keep expanding our little developer social platform. We'll make a spot up here on the top so that each individual user can make a new post that they want to make, so that way, yeah, there's some plans for this, and we'll actually once we do that, we'll make a way that we as individual users can log in and create our own accounts, and then we'll probably fall off from the placeholder, and we'll use the placeholder just for the first 10 individual users, and we'll allow people to actually mimic, create more, and go from there. Yeah, that sounds like a fun plan. Um, Cool. My God, the rain. It is nasty out there. I gotta open up my window so I can watch this. I got a blind usually that covers up my window. Uh, but right now it's raining out so hard that it's entertaining. Ugh! Wow, the trees are just a going. It's a storming out there. Damn. Glad I'm inside. All right. So back to the home page. Um, so we need to do what we did. Um, so let's pop it into our user view, and we're gonna open up our index because we're more or less steal some code. So let's bring this over a little bit because we're working with the home page. I'm gonna stick this at 900. There we go. Because that should also trigger this to be swapped. Because if this goes beneath or at 100, it goes to the top and it's no longer sticky. So I was just curious to that working the way I expected. Make it 901 just so that I can see everything. There we go. All right, so in here, we want to basically replicate this. So we have the feed, which is making each post. And then inside of each post, we have comment section. And then we need to add a load more comment. So we're going to come into here. And we're basically going to steal this. Yeah. So we're going to come in here and we're just going to paste this in here. But for this case, we're actually just going to get rid of the if case because it's not going to load anymore once it's been maxed out as it is. So next, we need to do the same magic we did up here. So I'm actually going to come back in here and just copy this because I don't want to rewrite it. But this is going to be the same idea of comment section so that we can ID it. And now, because we have, like I can come over here, and because we have DevTools enabled for this project, I can just refresh without rebooting. And now you'll see that this one has 3 comments and a load more button that loads up the rest of theirs and does absolutely nothing past that. And we come down here and same idea. Perfect. So there's our news feed with our load more buttons. So next thing to do is add a load more button to the entire page so that we can, but I don't want to do a load more button here. What I want to do is I want to add the functionality so that when a user hits the bottom or when this like last element becomes rendered, um, what I want to do is then load more, have a little loading spinny GIF thing happen while I fetch the next 25 results. That is a little bit more advanced than what I know how to do at the moment. I have to learn that skill. Um, but luckily, HTMX got my back. Oh, luckily, this has my back with some examples. In our case, we would be looking for the infinite scroller demonstration. So apparently this one here looks for the trigger of revealed, but this is for a table row. But in our case, we're going to be doing it with a because we're not doing it with tables, we're doing it with divs. So that'll be the difference here. However, what we're looking to do, what we're looking for is the get, which is going to be basically getting the pagination aspect, and we want to trigger it on revealed. So once that last one gets revealed, um, that's when we want to start doing the swap after end, which is essentially going to add more elements to their thing. So if we scroll down here, loading GIF, the next bit gets loaded, scroll down, and you see how this is an infinite scroller. The idea that we're going to do is a very similar implementation in Java, so that way we can sort of implement the same thing when the last element gets rendered or gets revealed. So like once we scroll down and this last post gets revealed, we want to load the next 25, um, which essentially is this converted to, it's basically this here converted to Java. Um, so that's the fun part, which is this div here, because this div looks for the posts for each post that's handed into it. So this is where it gets fun. Um, in the initial state of the program, um, in the initial controller, what we're doing here is in the sitemap, we're just passing in all of the posts that we get from this paginated amount, which is right. It is what we want, but now I need to make a new method here so that we can load more, essentially. And the idea is we're just going to, um, much like the other controller, we're going to return a fragment. The comment, not the comment, the post fragments, which I don't have created yet. We only have a comment fragment, which is going to exist inside of um, which will technically exist inside of post, um, the post one. Because you'll notice here in the inner part, what we're doing here is um, we're essentially making a request for the author, but down here we're taking this whole section and we're swapping it. The comment section, we are fully loading those. Once we hit it, we're loading them here, and then we're adding a button which loads more, and it just returns a fragment. So what I'd like to do up here is the very same thing. I want to stick all of this into a into a. I guess I don't need that. I just the title can stay. Title, author, and yeah, no, the whole div needs to get redone because the header, the body, and the comments, plus the load more button for the comments, are all technically coming together. Um, Separate this stuff. So I want to basically put this into its own section so that I can just kind of call this and swap it out. Um, but I want to be able to do this div like this so that I can say this div I want when the last element is revealed, I want to add more to the end, um, which is going to ultimately make me swap out this whole inner bit. Um, so very much like this comment is broken out into a div for this, and it goes through each comments and renders this. We're going to need to make another copy of this, but call it post or posts. Yeah, I think I'll just call it posts. And what we're going to do here is we're going to come into the index and we're going to copy this whole bit, and it's going to come down here and basically be the same idea as this. Class is here, and then we're going to call this a th fragment, um, which is going to be that of posts. And then for each post in posts, we're going to do this stuff. So now I can get rid of this. You can come up here, and I want this to be spaced over a little bit. All right, so now what we can do is come in here and I can do this, come into here, and we can just simply say th replace this with that. And what that does, if we rerun this, and that is on the index page, essentially it does nothing. You'll see that it did absolutely nothing. That's because now it's all just containerized. So now I have this, which I could object out a little bit more and grab the header. I like my object-oriented programming, so I like breaking things into fragments. I can essentially do my post head in one, my post body in one, my um, next thing, next thing, next thing. However, what I wanted to do was I wanted to do this so that I can also simply come in here. Um, whoop, I wanted to be able to say sort of kind of that. I don't know why it's coming up like that. Let's go back over here. So we're going to make an hx get to whatever for now. We're just going to ignore that. The trigger is going to be that of revealed. This one needs to be on load. The initial one needs to be on load, which is the problem. And it's like the actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's just put you back up there, and we'll come in here. And I'll do it here instead. So this is going to be the header. Nope, this. So we're gonna come you down, put you down here. Okay, and I'm gonna break a line there, and I come up here, and I do this. I'm gonna do hx get, which is I'm gonna make that pull a get request to get all of the things that we're gonna say on revealed. I think. No, because I think this is gonna screw it. Fuck, how would I do this? How would I do this? Fuck, how do I do this? Because basically what I want is at the very end, when the last element is revealed, I want to load more. This guy here is simply saying, this last element contains a listener. So this is putting it at the very end. Okay, so if I come in here, and I'm going over each of these posts, okay. Um, okay, so I'm not going to return this. Okay, sorry for going quiet here, guys. I'm trying to think of the best way to handle this. Because what I'd like to do is that I want the last element when this page loads, and it loads all that it has, and it shoot, because that pulls the comments, and that's good. The body is literally just that. Um, because I want each of these to do its own, like, to be a thing. Um, but yet I want I want the last element of this to have this, basically. So how in the hell would I do this? If this is that, do this. Otherwise, do that. Um, mm, I might have to come back at this because I don't understand it enough to know, and I don't want to screw around too much on live with this. Um, okay, so we do have our load more button for comments and our loading more um, for the whole thing. So now, um, okay. So next we want to, what else do we want to do? What else do we want to do? I guess the next thing that I'm looking to do is pick at the user side so I can add another section beneath here that will grab um, the user's something. What do I got here? I've got comments. I don't have photos built out. I don't have albums built out. I don't have to-dos built out. So I guess we could model an album, or like build a, what were we calling them? An input, no, a response. So yeah, I guess I could build out an album response. Um, let's take a look and see what the album looks like. The album is dead simple, apparently. Okay. Um, okay, so we'll make a new Java record, and we'll call this album response. Yeah, and this is going to be, this is going to consist of a long user ID, a title, but it also has a long ID, and that is it. Yeah, ID, title, and username. Simple enough. Okay, so that's ID, username, and that. So there's that. Next, we're going to go into a service. And this is going to be that import service. So we'll make a new import service for album. All right, and this is going to follow suit with others. So we'll copy that, we'll throw that there. Come down here, what are we grabbing? That has the repository. This isn't even what I want. This is what I want. So rest and comment. Okay. So we have the rest. And oh, we don't have a repository yet. So I also don't have a model. Okay, so I need to make a new class, album. Okay, you're gonna have getter, setter, entity, table, albums. Okay, so there's what I need there. Create a repository. Sure. Okay, get rid of that. This, PRI, album repository. Okay. So import is basically going to be this. Okay. Um, you're basically going to be fine, Mike. Okay, so we'll do this. Response equals restclient.get .uri. Is it albums? Albums, yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, so next I want to map all of these to comment, well, to my thing. albums. So albums dot map. Oh yeah, that's what I didn't do. Whoops. Right, that's what I need to do. Okay, so this needs to be return album. Album dot to list, and then we're going to save all. Okay, so that should take care of saving all of the importing all of the albums. So let's come in here and let's add. Whoop, fuck. There we go. Album service. Album service. All right, so now when we run it, it should grab all of the albums and throw those into our little memory database as well. Okay. So how now, brown cow? We can do some CRUD actions. So new Java class. This one will be album service. Sure, this one is going to be a service. This one is going to have a required args constructor. It's going to have a private final repository. The fuck? It's going to have a private final album repository. There we go. Do it right. And I want to be able to get all albums for a user, I suppose, but take in some pageables. Okay, so public list of album, get all albums for user ID, and if we pop into here and pop into here, user ID, we'll create a method to grab a collection of albums into a list for that user. We'll go back into our service here and we'll say var albums is find all by user, yes. However, we're also going to take in an integer page and size, and then we're going to say var pageable equals pageable of size page. Do this, open use, slap in the slap in pageable, come in here, and we're going to add pageable. Okay. So then we got albums dot, because is that not a page? Oh, that's a list of albums. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, okay, so we can get rid of this. We can come into here, and I can just say return So that's going to return all the albums for a given user with a page result. So we'll copy that. We'll go into, we don't have it. Comment controller is very similar. Okay, so I'm just going to come into here, create a new class, album controller. Hope I spelled that right. Minimize this, come into here. I'm going to copy these because I'm lazy. Album controller. Do this instead of comments, it's albums. Oh. Albums. This is going to have a private final album service. And we're going to have a get mapping for this. Do that. Import class. Import this. Albums. Slash user ID. Really? User ID slash. Yeah, no, I don't need that. It's just slash user ID. Okay, so this is going to be a path variable. That's going to be a path variable. That's going to be, these are both here, going to be request parameter. They're both going to be that of optional. Required is false. Default values. Okay, so default value for the page ID is going to be 0. Default ID for the amount of albums, we're just going to say maybe 6. So I don't want too many, maybe 5. Cool, so now we're going to return that. And that's going to return a list of albums. Okay, so that's a list of albums. So now if I go to sitemap, post for the user. There we go, user here. Okay, so what I want here now is okay. Okay, so the user, the posts, and next I'm going to slap in the albums so that I can come into the user view. That's the posts. This is the sidebar, so we've got the profile card. Next, we're going to add an album section. So we're going to do div. Actually, no. I want this to have the similar. Come on now. Okay, so da 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 da, because I want this to go beneath all of this. So profile section, profile section. So if I go and add a new profile section, albums, um, if album list item, da 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 da, get title, album title. But I want that to be, can I make a list item? Can I make a list item something that is clickable, like a link, like an anchor, sort of like I did for the, I guess technically I can make anything clickable. Um, we'll go with that for now. So once this reloads, because I shouldn't have rebooted it like that, but whatever. Now I've got this section in the bottom for albums, for listing out their different albums. Um, we'll work on making um, we'll work on making those into clickable links, which will go off to the album ID a little later. Because right now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure how to do that. I think these need to have an A. I don't know if I can add a an href to these, to be honest. Um, can I do a href? Will something like that actually work? I obviously don't have that built out yet, but um, albums ID, albums user. I guess now I'll be pulling in an album ID, so it'll be very unique to that Okay, yeah. Let's check this out. Refresh this. Okay, so no, I can't make that. Okay. Um, what would that look like? There we go. Kind of, sorta. They're links, but now I feel like I need a space. A little bit well, technically I can do that with CSS. I could add in some styling there, so these are a little bit further apart because I don't like how close they are. But they will essentially take me to a page that doesn't exist, which is good because then I can go in there and list out all of the photos in that album. So this is coming along quite nicely. Uh, New old. Welcome to the thing. Sorry I missed we missed it when you posted that comment. Um, Getting to know Spring Boot as a beginner. There is so many options available online for learning as a beginner. I actually have a few videos myself in my on my YouTube list. If you happen to want to browse through my history, there is Spring into Java, which is a series I did, which took you through the basics of Spring and making a basic CRUD application. And there are a lot of videos out there for how to get started with Spring and what Spring is versus what Spring Boot is, because Spring is the actual framework. Spring Boot is more or less a collection of different tools or different applications or whatever that were built with Spring that are designed to help other Spring developers and sort of complement the Spring framework. And Spring Boot just allows you to grab all of those different available pieces, and it allows you to um, bootstrap your application in a way that sort of simplifies the getting up and going process. For example, if you wanted to start a brand new Spring Boot project and just bring in things like Spring Data JPA, you've got your database stuff pretty much sorted. You can bring in an H2 database, a SQL database, whatever you want, but Spring Data JPA basically brings in all of the needed things for databases. Spring Web and Spring Web MVC basically bring in everything you need to get a web server up and going, including a Tomcat by default web server. You can swap those out to anything you want, whether you want to run something like Javelin, not Javelin, sorry, whether you want to run something like Netty or another protocol under the hood other than Tomcat to act as your server, you can do that. You can swap out a lot of things. You have Spring Boot has Thymeleaf incorporated with it, which is what you see me using for websites. Um, it has uh, it depends on where you want to go with it, but it is fairly overwhelming if you try to jump yourself directly into like the nitty gritties with Spring. I would recommend taking a few minutes or a few days, sorry, and learning the basics about what Spring is, the problems that it's solved, and like what it is, because Spring itself is very heavily reliant on annotations. It does a lot of reflection under the hood. So if you don't know what reflection is, that could be a problem. Um, that's basically the magic of Spring is basically the use of reflection and the fact that it can go in underneath existing Java things, different Java classes, access them, and all you need to do is make implementations or like contracts. So you write interfaces, and then Spring will make a concrete class based off of what you put in for the interface, which is why you see things like repositories. I only have to write the implementation. This is only an interface. It's only the implementation, or not the implementation, sorry, it's the contract to what this repository should do. When Spring Boot turns on and boots at runtime, it will make an album repository and it'll tag on IMPL or implementation so that it makes a concrete class that handles what it is that you're doing here. Um, there's again, Spring can be overwhelming at first, but I really advise taking it in small chunks. Um, I definitely recommend trying to learn what it is before you dive into how you use it. It was a very long-winded answer, I'm sorry. All right, so next thing that we're looking to do here will be, I guess we're going to be building out the albums or like the photos, um, which would mean we would need to come into, now that we got our albums, our comments, um, our posts, and our users, we're only missing to do and photos. So realistically, the next thing I would like to do is beneath the albums, add in a to-do list so that we can see what this user has as far as to-dos go. And then we can build out build out from there, which we might need to do in a later stream, a little later on today. Maybe I will come back to this. I just have to get my day started. It is that time. 11 o'clock in the morning. That is usually for me when I get my day started. I just have to feed the animals, wake up with my wife, get some chores done, and I will be back a little bit later on, and we will pick up where we left off with this. As for now, I am going to commit this, and we'll just call this stream number 2. Um, I'm going to commit this. So that's been committed. I'm going to come down here, and we're just going to push this off to GitHub, if it will let me. Okay, maybe Control Shift K because that doesn't like there. Okay, there we go. So we're going to push this off to GitHub, make sure that everything is good. There we go. We've pushed that to GitHub. So if you are following along with me on this project or just curious to see what it looks like, you can get the link in the description. That'll link you to my repository. You can get it, clone it, fork it, do what you like with it. Uh, there's no license on it. It's just a very bare bone basic implementation. So this is to our fourth hour working on this. So we're 4 hours into this project, and so far we have a home page with a list of comments. We have a way to view off to our individual users. We can see their contact information, individual posts. We got a load more button on the comments, a load more button on the posts, and our small little application is starting to feel a little more real. It's not feeling quite so sandboxy anymore. So, um, yeah. Um, Later on today, I will come back and we will pick up where we left off. We will add in the to-dos beneath the albums. Um, and we'll create the album page, which is going to load up the photos for the albums. Or actually, no, we'll make an album page. So this can take us off to the albums, the actual album page. And the album page, we're going to list with all of the images that are in there. We'll take maybe the first one and use it as a thumbnail, or we'll just take the album thumbnail. I believe there's no, the images have thumbnails. We will take an image with the first image in the album. We'll use it as a thumbnail for the album. We'll make it so you can click it, go into it, and load all the images. And I will try to take a little bit of time today to see if I can figure out this infinite scroller so that we can take advantage of it. And because I really would like to, not this one, yeah, wrong site. Um, I will try to figure out how to do the infinite scroller. Um, whoop, under examples, I'll try to see if I can figure out how to convert that to a div and figure out how to make it work. Um, in the meantime, keep your curiosity open, your skills sharp, and that coffee cup full. I'll catch you in the next video.